of our reality, something ancient stirs. Welcome to the Dark Night AI. This is Silas Grimshaw. Are you ready?
It was a moonless night, the kind where the darkness pressed in so thick you could almost taste it. A biting chill seeped into your bones, and the wind whispered secrets through the skeletal trees. I, along with my three friends, Liam, Sarah, and Mark, were driving down a desolate road. Our destination, a decrepit old mansion known as Blackwood Manor. Tales of its spectral inhabitants were legendary. Whispers of madness and disappearance followed anyone brave enough to spend a night within its cursed walls. Our car shuddered to a halt before the manor. Its towering walls and broken windows loomed like a grotesque giant, its empty eyes seemingly fixed on us. Black ivy snaked up the stone, resembling an endless legion of crawling serpents. The main door, rusted and draped in cobwebs, groaned open with a chilling shriek as Mark, ever the daredevil, pushed it inward. The sound echoed through the oppressive silence, sending a jolt of fear through each of us. Stepping inside, an immediate, bone-deep cold enveloped us. A foul stench, a mix of decaying wood and damp earth, assaulted our senses. The darkness within was absolute, swallowing the meager beam of Mark's flashlight. Strange, shifting shadows danced on the walls, swayed by a phantom breeze. We found ourselves in a vast hall, littered with overturned, decaying furniture that looked as though time itself had paused, or perhaps been violently ripped apart. Suddenly, Sarah let out a piercing shriek. "Look!" Her voice was choked with terror. The flashlight beam swung to where she pointed. There, hanging from the ceiling, was an old, rotting swing, swaying gently back and forth, as if an invisible child was playing. Yet, there was no draft, no explanation. Our breaths hitched in our throats. Liam, attempting to sound brave, stammered, "It's just the wind. It must be." But the tremor in his voice betrayed his true fear. We pressed on, each step accompanied by the deafening silence that seemed to magnify every creak and groan of the ancient house. The grand staircase, leading to the upper floor, seemed to shudder under an unseen weight. As we ascended, faint, dragging sounds reached our ears. It sounded like something heavy was being dragged up the stairs ahead of us, despite the fact that we were alone. Each step we took elicited a protesting creak from the old wood, amplifying the feeling that we were intruding on something ancient and malevolent. Upstairs, several doors stood ajar. A faint, flickering light emanated from one of the rooms. We cautiously peered inside. There lay an ancient four-poster bed, draped with a white sheet that seemed to ripple ever so slightly, as if something lay beneath. Suddenly, the sheet slowly, deliberately, slid off, revealing a blood-soaked, skeletal hand emerging from beneath. Its bony fingers, adorned with a tarnished, ancient ring, seemed to beckon us closer. Sarah's screams erupted, and she collapsed in a dead faint. At that exact moment, a powerful gust of wind roared through the room, extinguishing all the candles we'd brought, plunging us into absolute darkness. We instinctively clung to each other, our desperate cries echoing into the void. An unearthly, guttural caw filled the air, a sound no living creature could possibly make. We felt cold breaths on our necks, the sensation of unseen presences pressing in around us, freezing us in place. Mark, trembling, managed to switch on his flashlight. In its beam, Liam's eyes were wide with a horrifying madness, and he was muttering incoherently. His limbs twitched uncontrollably. Sarah remained unconscious, her face pale as a ghost. I, summoning every ounce of courage, lifted Sarah, and we scrambled, stumbling blindly, towards the stairs. As we raced down, we heard heavy, thudding footsteps behind us, growing louder with each descent, as if multiple unseen entities were hot on our heels. We burst into the main hall and stumbled towards the front door. To our horror, the massive oak doors had slammed shut, locked tight. We pounded on them with all our might, screaming, but they remained unyielding. Then, from the upper floor, a soul-shattering shriek ripped through the air. It was a sound of unimaginable agony, a sound that tore at our very souls and confirmed our impending doom. Through the grimy windows, we saw glowing red eyes staring back at us, shimmering with a malevolent light. Mark, remembering a small hatchet he'd brought for emergencies, began to hack wildly at the door. After several desperate swings, the rusty latch finally gave way with a clang. We burst out into the night and sprinted towards the car. Looking back, those piercing red eyes still burned from the manor's windows, and it seemed as if they were laughing at our escape. We piled into the car and sped away, leaving the cursed manor behind. When we finally reached the city, our nerves were shattered. Liam was laughing uncontrollably, a chilling, hollow sound. Sarah was burning with a fever, muttering nonsensical words. Mark and I were gripped by an icy terror that refused to let go. To this day, none of us speak of Blackwood Manor, but the fear, the screams, and those glowing red eyes haunt our sleep, night after agonizing night. They say we weren't alone in Blackwood Manor that night, and that the mansion still waits. Its secret remains buried within its walls, and anyone who dares to uncover it never returns. Do you dare to seek the truth of Blackwood Manor?